You can't have food production without honeybees. You know, almonds, the almond industry wouldn't have an industry if it wasn't for honeybees. And pumpkins, and there's so many, you know, native bees can help, but they're not as effective a pollinator as the honeybees. But I love them both, and we need both. It was in grade 7, and I just loved them straight away. The fact that the person who was teaching me was a beekeeper of 40, 50 years experience. You know, he had them when he was 70, he still had them when he was 89 when he died, you know, so the passion sort of flowed down to me. I just found them fascinating. Probably around 30, I went overseas on an agriculture exchange as a beekeeper, and I realised at that point that, you know, maybe doing what you love is probably a good idea for a career, so that's probably when it started, but I look forward to going to work every day. And so when I came home, I decided to start my own business. The bees are very susceptible to all climatic changes. If it's a drought, the trees don't produce nectar or pollen, or they don't flower. If it's too much rain, like in wet season, it's sort of, you know, the bees don't get a lot of honey. In 2018, I think the fires north of Camilla there, and there was big fires around there. I had to get bees out. We had fires at the back of our place up the range. Fires aren't good for bees either. Cyclones 17 and 18, 2017 and 2018 were very hard. Last year was really good, we had a really good year, and this year's okay. You don't want 100 inches of rain in 2 months and then nothing for 6 months. That's not good beekeeping. We've seen numerous things happen, you know, small hive beetles got into Australia. Just lately the fall armyworm, you know, so even though we're an island, we still seem to pick up these exotic diseases and pests. You just got to deal with it, you know. You can live with it, you just got to manage for it. You're still going to get it, but you can minimise the spread if you do the right thing. My best year is about 25 tonne. I'd like to do 30 tonne. Last year was 19 or 20 tonne, so I've got no delusions of grandeur of having 10,000 hives and 20 people working for me. That's just not who I am. I'd rather, you know, quality than quantity any time. So yeah, and I can manage what I do pretty well. Obviously the honey, sell beeswax, queen bees sometimes, working hives, nuke hives, that sort of thing. Looking into doing some pollen maybe, trapping a bit of pollen. I had a friend of mine said to me a while ago that I shouldn't be running my bee courses anymore. And I asked him why. He said there was too many people having bees, and I don't see that as an issue. I think the more bees the better. I think people are going to get bees whether they do a course or not, or join a club, but at least ways if they go to a course or join a club, they're going to learn, and they're not going to do the wrong thing, because if your inexperience can affect my experience, you're doing something wrong and you probably don't know it, can affect my business or, you know, a hive down the road. There was a young boy who did my bee course last year who's in high school, in the local high school, and he's a good kid. And since he's got into it, and my older boy knows him at school, Locke's really taken interest, and he's asking, can I come with you? And I haven't ever really encouraged it, you know. I said to him, if you want to do it, you can certainly do it, but you just find something that you love to do and you do it, whether it's bees or motor mechanic or art or whatever. But it would be good for them to have beehives in a backyard at some point, but commercially, that's up to them. We need to have a more sustainable food industry. We need to start looking after Australian farmers, and that's all farmers, you know, whether it's fruit, veg, cattle, sheep, you know, bees. I think more and more people are looking at, you know, finding out where their foods come from. Eating's not a passing fad, so we might as well eat good food. The Whitsunday Farmers Market was good in, like, about the same time we started retailing, so to get your brand out there, you've got to be in the public light, and that's what we did. You know, I hope it keeps growing, and I hope people keep supporting it. Because if you don't support it, well, it's not much of an incentive for us to keep doing what we're doing.